The Spin-Off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, I'm Duncan Grieve, founder of The Spin-Off. You can help us keep all of The Spin-Off's award-winning journalism free for everybody by becoming a member today at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Kia ora e te whānau, welcome along to the Real Pod's real recap of Celebrity Treasure Island, week 4. Holy boy, it's really every week another absolute corker. My name's Jane.
Holy boy!
Holy boy.
I love Holy boy!
And girl. Welcome Duncan Grieve and Alex Casey. How are you guys?
Hello, Jane. I'm losing my mind, baby.
Right now, Alex is holding her hair, or would it? I mean, it's where her hair should be. It doesn't look like her hair, over her face and now over her forehead.
I'm doing a little fakey fringe, you know? I'm at that point of lockdown where I'm like, fakey
At that
fringe.
point of lockdown.
Maybe it should be a real fringe. Maybe I'll just cut it.
Robin did that last week and no regrets.
Really?
Yeah, cut a fringe and cut like these weird bangs. So she's got these 3 steps to her hair and, you know.
Very cool. It's something.
That's exciting.
It's something. It really is something.
It's something. She doesn't regret it now, but perhaps she'll regret it when she goes back to school. You know? Anything's possible in lockdown. Your perspective's all screwed up. And then you get back into the real world and it's like, I've never seen the sun before. You know?
No one's going back into the real world or going back to school. Come on.
Okay.
This is the realist pod.
I tell you what, a lovely place to be, sunny Northland, on the beach, with 13 or so of your best new mates, foraging for kinner, having a nice time, by the way. And that's where we are for Celebrity Treasure Island. We've got 2 teams, Team Katapo and Team Repo, who seem absolutely bloody unstoppable, can I just say. And speaking of hair, the girls started out the week by removing their battle braids. And I'm sorry, but it is simply not fair that Jess's hair looks like that when it's salty and sweaty and been in braids for a week.
It's Miss Universe hair, Jane.
I know, but she came out, she looked
different.
like a TikTok hack on how to make your hair beautiful. And Ange and Lana looked like what happens when real people do it.
Lana is the real pod. Don't you reckon?
Yes, I think this whole show is the real pod. When they did the challenge where they were using a pulley to eat a piece of gluten-free bread off a hook and Candy had her leg out by her ear, I was like, this is the real pod of TV shows. Like, they haven't thought this challenge through at all. Basically like any one of our segments. They've not thought it through because as soon as she bit into the bread, it fell off the hook and then Bree's like, I guess you can use your hands. And then from then on, everyone just like ripped it off and just shoveling it down. Anyway, we'll get there. We've got an awesome foursome. Lance, Chris, Joe and Brinley. That is a foursome I would want to be part of.
Oh my goodness. Me, Jane.
Not like
This is a
that.
children's program.
Fair enough.
I mean, if I was in an alliance on Treasure Island, that's the team I would want to be alliancing with.
What about the undies problem? Oh, no, they've done laundry. It's all good.
What undies problem? Oh, Joe not changing his undies.
Yeah.
But she said it wasn't that kind of foursome, Alex.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just
Sorry.
It's just the alliance. I had no plans on finding out to get close to his underwear. Anyway. Katapo busy trying to get rid of rogue Richie after he sent Art into the elimination last week and got him ousted, and that wasn't part of the plan. So he's gone rogue. Angela is just absolutely strategizing the shit out of this show in such a clever, conniving way. I love it.
I really love it. My favourite, can I say something about this opening segment, which really doesn't, it doesn't feel like it's an important part of the show. Like the show is basically like a weird game show with a little bit of where you just have to endure some horrible living conditions. But the observational stuff is my favourite material. Like if they could sort of squish the structured elements down into kind of half the time and then just have heaps more just sort of hanging out on the beach. Because they must have... I don't really understand whether they're shooting crazy amounts of material and just junking it all, or whether they just have very prescribed shooting time. But it is so fun watching them yarning and just doing silly stuff like learning to pose. Also, they'll do these intercuts where there'll be like a few people in the briefest bikinis you've ever seen, and then another group that are wearing puffer jackets and multiple hoodies, seemingly at the same time. And this just doesn't make any sense, but I don't mind.
I feel like it's in Edna's contract that she's like, I must be wearing my bikinis that are for sale by Ed and I at all times. Otherwise, I'm not here and I don't care how cold it is.
Oh, look.
And you know what? I would buy that bikini if I could pull it off too.
Oh, okay. Now who's being rude? Listen, I reckon they've got prescribed shooting times. I don't reckon that they're crewing that all day, every day. But I also think there's heaps of downtime. I reckon they do it like this. To me, it seems like there's heaps of just observational stuff in there, Dunk. I think there'd be more, and the challenges would be right out the window.
I'll be fine with that.
But it's like how Love Island, it's like when you watch Love Island and the challenges are the shittest part. Like they're good and they're spectacular. And we'll say this, there's a great feature by Chris Schultz on the spin-off, speaking to the executive producer about how the challenges have become more brutal. But I agree. Like, it's almost like a case for just like a Celebrity Big Brother or something in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Well, could they, because I mean, there's almost like Celebrity Treasure Island, it contains so many multitudes that you could just sort of have like a spin-off show where you just did less challenges and suddenly it just is Celebrity Big Brother. You know?
But what it is everyone who gets voted off then goes into the house where it's just purely observational, right? So you come off the island and then you're in the island, I don't know, a little beret or something, and that's just cameras on them all the time, yummy food, a pool, and just see what comes of it.
That's a great idea.
Thank you.
That works.
But I do. I think the challenges are the challenges being there means that some of the observational stuff is really good because that's where all the strategy and stuff comes in, right?
That's
that's where a lot of the drama and tension comes from, is what they're going to do in the challenges, who they're going to put up, and that kind of thing. I think if they were all just on a beach having a nice time, you wouldn't get the same tension.
Okay, I've got a new idea. Sorry, I know that we should probably be getting into it, but basically it's COVID times. The celebrities are sequestered away from the rest of New Zealand. We're running 2 reality shows simultaneously forever, one of which is a luxury house where you get voted out and you have to go to Celebrity Treasure Island hard times, one of which is Celebrity Treasure Island where you get voted out and you're sent to the luxury house, and they just kind of rotate endlessly for all time and there's no winners.
Wouldn't you you'd be constantly trying to get voted out off the island though, wouldn't you? You'd be, I'll do the elimination challenge.
What's the prize?
There's no prizes, continued existence. There and not here.
Yeah,
right.
And also with other famous people, like it's great for your personal brand. It's a sort of an insurance to keep you relevant.
House.
Yeah.
Influencer house is definitely
and they have to
something.
influencer challenges and like see how many people you can exploit during lockdown to buy bikinis.
I'm basically
sort of thing.
just desperately auditioning for to try and get Warner Brothers to recruit me away from the spin-off like they did Alex.
Well, I think that I had a conversation with someone, I don't remember recently, about it's time for Living the Dream 2.0, and that could be the influencer house. Yeah. And Duncan, you could be in there as like this, the CEO who thinks he's on The Apprentice.
I really want to see Buck Shelford shilling for Instagram. I want that to be something that he has to do.
Buck Shelford.
Yes.
So good. That's his handle right there. Buck Shelford. Anyway, okay. So then we start off with a team face-off, which was just hoofing balls through a hole, right, with a slingshot. And the big plan was for Katapo to throw it. This is what the girls came up with so that they could oust Richie. But Richie was just very, very shit at this challenge. And they didn't need to do anything for him to fuck it up and lose captaincy. Handy.
That's feminism.
That's true. But you guys are fucking it up all on your own. We'll just stand there, hold the balls and watch you do it. So Jess is now the new captain of Katapo. She's really owning it. She looks great. She looks like she's she looks at home with the big stick and is just a glorious Amazonian warrior type.
Agree.
Correct. Also, speaking of glorious Amazonian warrior types, how good is it when Brie just forces down 2 saucy rolls for no real good reason, seemingly just on the fly, just for fun?
It reminded me a lot of when we were on a certain car journey to a certain apprentice party, and one certain Jane Yee was hoofing down a saucy roll with crazy velocity.
I have a real problem in that I cannot stop at a petrol station to fill up the car without getting a sausage roll. I maintain that sausage rolls out of petrol station warming drawers are actually pretty good, particularly a wild bean.
I'm just confronted by you making reference to the times when we could go to apprentice parties and cars together, and I'm now got a profound sadness, which will be great for the podcast.
It wasn't that long ago, but it seems like forever.
It's crazy.
What is
you know what
time?
I was thinking about? Pop stars was this year.
No.
No, it wasn't.
I was thinking about Kimbra, and then I was like, Kimbra did something, didn't she, this year? And then I went, oh my God, that whole show just came and went. And nothing, did not touch the size. Crazy.
It was at least 2 years ago. Other nice time things that are happening. Other nice time things that are happening on the beach is Buck teaching. I mean, everything about Buck and Chris is lovely.
Oh, so wholesome.
Buck teaching Chris how to spiral a rugby ball, and he kind of seems reluctant, but he's coming round to it. You know what I mean? He's slowly defrosting. He's being very challenged, I feel.
Quite literally, like Austin Powers.
And also that real cute moment where Lance is just obviously extremely bad with those bluff type challenges, and he's going to have to go up to it for the captain's challenge, and they do a practice with him, and he's just hopeless. Bless him. I still really like Lance.
Oh, we all love Lance.
The captain's challenge was Kumara in a box. The classic game.
I don't like these ones because I don't know what's going on.
Oh, do you know what? I had to pause afterwards and be like, what was it? Was his strategy to pretend he had it, but he was bluffing that he didn't have it, so she'd think that he was doing a bad bluff and that he did have it, and then I can't figure it out.
I feel like they should have a Kumara cam in the box so the audience knows what they're doing.
Yeah. And
can see the thought process.
That's exactly right. It would also just be quite a funny sort of picture-in-picture, just a static shot of a kumara.
You put some GIFs on it, I don't know. There's a reason I don't work in television anymore.
When he described it as purple and brown, I was like, yes. And Jess was like, no such thing. I was like, yes, got one in my drawer. It's like purple, but it's kind of got a slight brown sheen. Not a sheen. It's not a shiny sheen.
But he meant the dirt, didn't he?
I don't think he did. I think he was playing up the fact that he was pretending he'd. Oh, yeah. I mean, he said the dirt, but he did a good job. I don't know that he knew what he was doing. I think he just was pretty stoked that whatever it was worked. And what did they win? I get confused what you win for different things.
No.
Oh, he won a scroll. Similar. He won
strategy is just saying pizzas every 10 minutes.
He won a right to pick if someone in his team gets picked to compete by the other captain, he can swap them out with someone else on his team or something. He's decided to keep it to himself. And Chris is like, how committed is he to the awesome foursome if he's not going to tell us what's on that bloody scroll? Dun, dun, dun. Everyone's starting to like question their friends now, it's all starting to get very gritty. There was a solo endurance challenge. This was fucking out the gate. Richie and Edna go up against each other in, I don't know, like a weird progressive squat situation. Horrible.
It's like
I'm going to do it now on the podcast.
Frozen limbo. I'm basically doing it, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, guys.
How long did they last? Like 10 minutes?
They lasted like
minutes.
11 minutes.
I'm already...
I tried a little just to see how I didn't really test myself at all. I was just like, oh, yeah, doesn't seem too bad. But they were burning.
I get the feeling like it was bad. But Richie could clearly do that for 3 days. Like, his mind control was terrifying.
I wonder how JJ would have gone because she wanted to do the endurance challenge, and I feel like she just didn't, she was putting her hand up for everything because she just wanted to be like, I want to be on this TV show. I want to actually feature on this at some point. And Edna ended up doing, Edna did great. There's no way that I could have done as well as Edna did. But she lost and she was gutted because her dad was a tyrant, basically. Her dad was like, win at all costs. It's not about the game. It's not about the enjoyment. You win or you're dead to me. That's basically how she described her dad's parenting style. And so she, she's had a very pressured upbringing in terms of success, and she really felt it. But we saw that softer side.
It was nice seeing that human side of Edna because she's been quite a sort of Robert Patrick in Terminator 2 up to this point. And, yeah.
Who's Robert Patrick? Which one's he?
I thought you were going to say, I think you mean Robert Pattinson.
No, the one with the molten metal one. Is that T-1000?
I don't know.
You know, who runs as fast as a car? He's not as famous as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, the other one. The not Arnold.
I often hear a lot of chat about
Does that mean Ea is the Arnold of the Boss Babes?
Isn't that obvious?
Oh my God, was Edna on Boss Babes?
She is that one of the two Boss Babes.
Oh my God. How did I not know that?
This is wrecking our credibility.
Keep up, Jane.
I'm so sorry. So much television. Edna, I really believed her when she was like, it's a team, that she felt really bad that she'd lost it for the team, that she had something to prove, because she was someone who right from the get-go seemed like she was out for herself. And to have her in that moment feel like she'd really let the team down and be in tears and everyone softened to her was really nice. Or very clever, one or the other. But Richie won. He got a huge hamper of food. I mean, they are not hungry anymore. I feel like they only starved them for the first week or two, and then it's just like, here's a whole pantry's worth of food. There's only 5 of you left, and here's 7 kilograms of Spam, Delicious.
I actually think it looks quite yum sometimes as well. It's almost like
totally.
Mad Mix.
They're getting creative.
Rice and beans.
He also got a clue. Actually, no, did he get 2 clues? He got a clue and a scroll to save a player in elimination, like a mercy card. And he decided to keep the scroll to himself. The other one the clue to himself. The mercy card had to go to the captain and was for the captain to play whenever they wanted to. I reckon he should have just said he only got one thing, because he was like, I got 2 things, I'm going to go off and read them. He should have just been like, I got one thing, I'm going to go off and read it, and just pretend like he only got one. But they're all a bunch of idiots because he came back, told them about the mercy card, and they never even asked him about the other one.
Right. So fool them.
Fool everybody.
That's what you say.
That's what I'm saying.
Along with pizza.
Pizzas?
That was the end of episode 10. We just scooched into episode 11. This is where Angie Bloomfield's really starting to shine as a strategic genius. She is, she wants to create, what is it?
The ovary agreement.
The ovary agreement.
Is that what she actually said?
Yeah.
Well, I think Lana came up with the name. And all the ovaries are on board.
It's a really cool name. I think.
Except for Brie called it the ovarian agreement, which, I mean, same. It's just the same thing, right? But she didn't quite nail it. there's a lot of alliancing going on. Lance's alliancing definitely isn't a word, by the way, but it is for the purpose of this. Lance is alliancing with everybody. He talks about how he's got a really good relationship with Edna and their friendship means that they've got a good alliance. He's also in the Awesome Foursome. He's really close with, is he close with Richie as well? I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like he's mates with everyone. Meantime, Chris's lips are burning off. Ever had lip burn?
Every day of my life.
Can you talk me through it?
Well, you just peel. It's just a peel. A cracking, a peeling.
Oh, it sounds hideous.
I was on medication for a long time. That meant my lips got sunburned like every day until I figured out that I needed to buy SPF 15 lip balm. It's hideous. It's just like very painful and you want to like rip the skin off, but it makes it worse.
That sounds sore.
It is sore. I feel for Chris.
We've yet to see Chizzo's eyes be singed. Looking forward to that. The charity challenge was this bread eating thing, this gluten-free, smash a piece of gluten-free bread. You've had gluten-free bread before?
Yeah.
It's cardboard, right?
It's dry. It's yuck. It's boring TV. It's also, I'm sure that's a choking hazard. You know, like the health and safety nightmare that is 2021 in reality TV just rolls on. Like really dry bread that you can't touch with your hands and have to swallow as fast as you can. Just no way that that's okay.
Or you can touch with your hands.
Well, yeah, of course. Once the futility of the task becomes clear.
There is a real hiccup for me. Like I can't eat anything, any kind of carbs at that sort of speed without getting like really loud kind of heaving. Seems like I'm choking, but I'm not. I'm just hiccuping hiccups.
Wow.
So it would have been good telly. Once again, Celebrity Treasure Island 2022, Janie. I don't know. I like honestly, if again, ball and a paddle. I'm going to buy a paddle and some wooden balls, and I'm just going to practice balancing balls on paddles because it is the key to success.
It's the key to survival. Can we just talk about the celebrity impersonations and the roast, because that was a really, really amazing scene.
We're not really there yet.
We're pretty much there.
I mean, we're not.
He's zagging.
You're really.
I'm accelerating. I mean, obviously we have
zagging.
the daddy Buck stuff, which is really good, and I like the sort of objectification of Buck by Chris Parker that sort of seems to be low-key happening. It's just good material, but the roast is incredible. Anyway, you just get us there in your own time, Jane.
We'll get there. I'll get you there. Yeah, but by the way, another show we need to commission, Buck Goes Wild with 3 white dumb comedians. Like, great show. Honestly. That could be the third element of the great celebrity influencer house / Treasure Island enterprise.
Yeah, that could be like an annex or a sort of an online-only element.
Like the Shorty Summer series.
After hours. Oh my God, the Shorty Summer series. Remember when? Let me write that down.
Yes.
I mean, it's still happening, isn't it?
Surely they can't afford to.
It's always like, who's that guy? Bryce or whatever? Brent?
No, the best one was when you picked your love interest to write to you over summer, and TK was sending me emails.
Oh my God.
And then broke up with me at the end of summer. Like, hey babe, it's just not going to work out. Man, gutted. Okay, anyone under the age of 30 probably just means nothing. Okay. What else happened? The team face-off. So, yes, this was where the losers are performers and the winners are the audience. And the winner will get a reward. The winning performer will get a reward, food, and $5,000 for charity. And obviously the winning team get a whole lot of club sandwiches, popcorn. And criminally, they get soft drinks, which was later referred to as fizzy drink. And not once was it referred to as ice cold fizz, for fuck's sake.
What a tease. They know what they're doing. I
know.
They're just dangling it in front of us and then pulling it away.
Sometimes they do Easter eggs, which are like, oh, come on, that's so obvious. And this time it's like, now you're fucking with us. Now you're Angela Bloomfielding us. Like, do you really not know, or are you pretending you don't know and you're trolling us? Ice Cold Fizz was Survivor, right? Maybe they say it's like copyright Survivor.
Well, he's carried over in the drink though.
It's definitely copyright matches, though, as far as I'm concerned. It's his phrase to say, and this
phrase
was the
book.
time to say it. I'm terrified there's not going to be any more fizz.
You know how I used to
Hey?
have that Mad Butcher thing, and you push the button, it would say a different classic Mad Butcher phrase? I want a Matt Chisholm version of that. That's merch.
Great
That's
idea.
That's merch.
Speaking of,
One of one.
head to thespinoff.co.nz/shop and pick yourself up a lovely corny pin. Lovely enamel pin. It's a copper corn or an ear of corn. What's the difference? I'm not sure. Set to colour bars of a television to represent the cornies of the Real Pod Corner, facebook.com/groups/Real Pod Corner, and also television, because we just mostly talk about that. Thank you very much. $15.
That was
That was an info bomb.
It was. It was an incredible host read by the host. Yes,
Thank
with
you.
the mostest.
Anyway, in this challenge, they had to do some sort of relay race. I mean, Richie just absolutely duffed it again. I mean, he's either great or fucking terrible, you know?
Is he doing
Like-
it on purpose?
Lana questioned if he was throwing it, but like, for what purpose? You know, there was no
So he can
real
just be
reason
like,
for
I'm
him.
just a baby. Don't get rid of me. You know?
You think he's trying to make himself seem like less of a threat? Like I'm a
Yeah.
bumbling idiot. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. The big question is, why the hell was Jess swimming instead of Anna Simsick? What is going on? Is
Yeah, that does seem like a massive
Is this a
fuck
cover up? Did she not really win a medal? Is she not really a very good swimmer?
Maybe she's got the yips.
Yeah.
Like, or forgotten how to swim. Like, there's something going on. It's very strange to have a Commonwealth Games gold medalist swimmer seemingly refusing to swim.
I
as
know
part
she
of her
does the
contract.
backstroke, but I feel like her backstroking is still going to be faster than her backstroking after she has not eaten for probably like 3 months. She's riddled with, I don't know, some sort of rash, like lots of bad things. I don't know. I'm basically saying her and her absolute worst backstroking would still be better than anyone else freestyling.
Disagree. I think we've seen
Chris was a
Chris
beast,
Parker
yeah.
smoked her.
Okay, should be then.
Should be.
If you're like the best in the world at something, you know, you should be better than Chris Parker at
the
freestyle.
Commonwealth.
What if it's 20 years ago?
30 years ago, and it's the
30
Commonwealth.
years ago?
The Commonwealth is not the world.
Muscle memory. Well, in that case, I do think that Chris Parker needs to enter for the Commonwealth Games next time round.
Oh, couldn't agree more.
Repo wins. Lance is mates with Richie because that's where we see it come up here. And he asked Richie who he should put up for the elimination from Katapo. And Richie says Angela. The beef between them is really, really great. But Lance thinks he might put Richie up. In the end, he doesn't, though, does he? He puts up Lana in the elimination challenge. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. But let's talk about the performance. Let's talk about here's your time to shine, Dunk.
No, it's fine. I just enjoyed it. I've gone shy.
You got the yips.
It just cracked me up.
You're in a swimsuit facing the ocean.
Did I have a question? All I wrote was weird shells for teeth. Was that Richie? I felt like Richie had like somehow natural fake teeth.
He was referencing Buck teeth for Buck Shelford, I think. Because Buck was like, I had buck teeth when I was young, but I wasn't fat when I was young. Because he also shoved some pillows up his shield.
He was fat shaming Buck, which was uncalled for. Buck is considerably older than Richie. I looked it up, and he's got his injuries that inhibit, and just don't do it ever. You know, there's also that. But I do enjoy the sort of lingering, looming Richie Buck rugby versus league tension that's just sitting there in the background of this whole thing.
Yeah. Lana is doing a dance as Lance. Oh my God, Lance dance. Was so great. And when Lance was like, if I look like that when I'm dancing, I shouldn't be dancing, I was thinking, I would love to look like that when I'm dancing. I would pay for lessons to look like that when I'm dancing. I thought she did really well. I am so bad at dancing. Not that it's all about me.
I don't think I've ever seen you dance before.
There's a reason. There is a
I'd
reason.
love to see that. I did watch a clip of Lance posted like a highlights reel from when he was in the Fenty show last year, And the dancing's not that different.
To what Lana was doing.
It's just like he can pull it off. She can't.
There's a tower toppling competition for the elimination round. It's JJ versus Lana. It's so wild to me when I say JJ's name out loud. I feel like I haven't had a reason to this whole entire season because she's barely been in it. But to think that there are two celebrity JJs in this world, in this country.
It's so telling as well. Every time you say it, my heart skips a beat because I think you're talking about the Fiend, and then I remember that you're talking about JJ Fong. Not that there's anything wrong with her. She just hasn't really. Of course not. She hasn't registered at all, eh?
She hasn't registered.
The Fiend and the Fong. That's a show.
We have got so many. We are going to be very busy in production.
That might just be a podcast, though. Let's pitch it to the network, kid. That's you, Jane.
That's me. Truly, Feeny on the Island would be so great. Has she been on before? Now's your time.
Vibes like she should have, right? Back in the day?
Yeah. If not, I mean, bring her back. She's a whole nother Fiend these days. I think that even if she's been on before, bring her back.
But there used to be that the MediaWorks TVNZ war would have prevented it. Now,
of course.
That alliance is broken. And they're free to recouple. Math style, I would love to see the Fiend on CTI.
Yeah, that'd be so great. That's not Math style, by the way. It's Love Island style.
Well, they pioneered it on Australian maths.
That's true, but they weren't supposed to. Naughty.
Yeah, love it.
Okay, so both of the towers topple over. Lana wins by default, basically, because she all of her tower toppled. And quote of the week, JJ Fong leaving the island.
Cook your own
saying,
rice, bitches.
So
Amazing.
good.
Amazing.
It's horrible that she left and we're like, you had this in you this whole time. And we only get to see it as you're walking off the island. Such a shame. But she's left me wanting more. I want to know more about JJ Fong now.
It's the Miss Vanjie, the Drag Race moment of Celebrity Treasure Island, where someone gets kicked out, and then they suddenly have this huge moment. Everyone's like, "Whoa, who the hell was that?" So we can only hope that she goes on to tour successfully and come back for All Stars.
Hey, we haven't done this yet in these recaps, but we're going to take a quick break and then have a little message, and then come back for episode 12. Just a moment, caller.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spinoff. As we find ourselves navigating a new outbreak and lockdown, everyone here at The Spinoff remains committed to bringing you quality independent journalism, which, of course, includes our coverage of COVID-19. It's not an exaggeration to say we couldn't do this work without the generous support of our members. So, if you'd like to help us keep Aotearoa informed, please visit thespinoff.co.nz/members for more details and to donate today.
Episode 12 begins with Jess charging her crystals. What does that mean?
It's something about the moon, and it's surprising that you were able to bring just a pile of crystals to Treasure Island.
I guess they don't consider it a true advantage of any
Is it
sort.
Mineral?
It's like they don't understand
vegetable.
how powerful they are in production.
Yeah.
Basically, that
huge
whole
advantage.
opening montage was really fun. You had Jess recharging her crystals. You had Bryn dancing with a knife in quite a frightening way, and then kissing Chris in quite a romantic way, and it was just very, very funny and sweet and odd.
Favourite bit was Kim and Edna talking about watching movies nude and eating noodles with mayonnaise, and Buck not amused.
Did not
Buck
like
sitting
that.
there stone-faced, and then he's like, noodles aren't healthy.
Not healthy for you.
Of all of those things, all that clearly real stuff, which they were considering, Buck's take, noodles aren't healthy. Love Buck now.
He's really he's trying to, for the cameras, he's saying it's nice to be around the young people, but he clearly hates being around the young people. He's like, get me into my man cave with my beer, and so I can watch some footy.
And not the noodles.
No,
they are not
noodles.
healthy.
Naked, fine, but no noodles. I actually think he's starting to enjoy the young people, if I'm honest, and this episode contains evidence for that, conjecture. Yeah,
I think he's also kind of like taking on the role of the grumpy old dad at camp, and kind of playing it up a little bit. Anna is dreading alliances, which is interesting. I don't think Anna's cut out for this at all. She's dreading alliances, but remember when they came up with coming up with the ovarian?
No, it was in the previous episode. She alliance. Had such a great save.
She did such a great save when Lana was going to talk to her about being part of the alliance, just as Richie sat down next to them, and Lana completely panicked, totally shat herself, and Anna, seeing what was going on, pivoted to talk about the ovary alliance, to talk about
endometriosis. Just knowing that what we later find out about Richie and his how he feels about women, that was just going to be the end of his engagement with the conversation. It was brilliant save, all time.
Bernard Hickey's calling me. I'm not going to take it, but I just wanted to let you all know how important you are, okay? That I am screening Bernard Hickey so that I can continue on with the good pod.
The facts changed earlier this morning. I had a good yarn to the Hickster. As he refers to himself.
I haven't got the heck blown up my phone. I am on flight mode though, so.
That'll be why. He's probably calling me because he couldn't get through to you.
Away from my hickey snail mail.
Anyway, where were we? Then we had the influencer, Edna teaching everyone how to be an influencer with some Instagram posing lessons on the beach, which is just great. Great colour for the show. Loved it.
Fascinating, yeah.
Very relatable when she was like, walk down the beach with confidence, and both Kim and Chris were like, huh? How do you even do that? Does anyone in real life walk down the beach with confidence, or just completely self-aware and embarrassed?
I'm just sort of trying to get my feet out of the sand, so it's like quite a big walk. It's not really confident so much as very utilitarian, I'm just trying to survive.
I have two modes of transportation with my feet on a beach. One is waddle and the other is scurry. Those are the only two ways that I move.
I'm definitely a scuttler.
I actually thought Chris really killed it with his sort of both parody of, but also quite decent execution of the sort of sexy beach walk when he did the camera.
Absolutely.
Held the camera.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like Kim and Kim, like probably two of the most supremely confident people in New Zealand are kind of like, don't make me pose, they want to give it a shot and they know they're going to be good at it.
Yeah. I would hazard that invitation to have an Insta posing lesson was open to the whole camp, and they're the two who put up their hands to be part of it,
I want to see Buck giving it a pose in the waves.
Buck is very good at teaching his sort of trad mask skills. But he's not very good at he's not getting out of his comfort zone. He likes his comfort zone and is very comfortable staying there.
Do you know who might be able to speak to him on his level and get him out of his comfort zone? Candy. Little cha-cha? Little salsa?
True.
Little Viennese waltz down the beach? Paso Doble? The charity challenge was the banana dunk. This was a horrible challenge. I hated it. Popping balloons in your face. No, thank you. Eating banana. I mean, Richie cheated for a start. If he had won that, I would have been so fucked off because he used his hands at the end there to shove the banana in his mouth, which you weren't supposed to do. Lana ate an aphid for no reason at all because she didn't win, and Jess won.
Jess is maybe Jess is going to win. She's winning 3 of these is not a small thing. And I feel like people just, in the same way that they ascribe all these kind of particular characteristics to Art because he's so cut and handsome, I feel like because Jess is so, gorgeous, so Miss University, they just sort of assume that she's a bit dumb. There's a lot of stuff to unpack in there. But then she just kind of crushes all these challenges. But because she's got this winning smile, I don't think she gets she's never discussed as one of the threats to this thing, when I think she might be a massive threat.
But she also doesn't put herself out there as a threat. She just quietly goes about her business. She's obviously a nice person, gets along with everyone, so she's laying pretty low and slowly chipping away, knocking off all the big players. It's the crystal. She said, didn't she? She was like, it's going to be a winning day. And then she went and won the banana dunk. Who'd have thought? The Buck v Richie thing really starting to, as you say, starting to amp up, aka Madonna versus Gaga.
Loved it.
Loved it a lot. There is a team face-off. There are ice cream sundaes up for grabs. And it's a blindfolded maze thing. And Angela Bloomfield gets so frustrated in these challenges where she has to direct other people. And she's like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, that's basically what's going through her head the whole time. She thinks that Richie doesn't like being told what to do. Richie says that he couldn't hear anything, which you'd have to assume is probably true because Anna Simsick was saying the same thing, that she couldn't hear their instructions.
But also
There
Richie,
was a thing about, like, it seemed like it was screechy. I couldn't hear the screeching women's voices. It was
my
like-
worst nightmare, listening to women. Verbatim quote from Richie.
Is that what he said?
Yes!
Oh my God, get in the bin. If he's emanating that
It's a
in all
rough one,
facets
that
of his gameplay and on the camp, no wonder Angela is not into it because she seems to be, she's bloody started off the Ovarian Alliance. She's all about the women. She's not like that at all. I felt Angela's voice cut through quite strong, to be honest. I felt like I could hear every single word she was saying.
Yeah, it definitely
it's
felt
different.
like, I mean, Chris
different
was
on the island, of course.
projecting.
Yeah.
But I mean, the beautiful and very funny bond between Chris and Buck that, it's just, good boy, good boy, Buck.
Good boy.
He
Yes,
had
boy.
so much fun with that, and Buck really seemed to enjoy it too. And the
I think
teamwork made the dream work.
Yeah, but it's different when you're winning. When you're winning and you know the other team is so far behind, you can remain calm and not get frustrated, and you can do your cute things knowing they're going to make the edit and you're going to get a good little grab saying, good boy, Buck. Whereas, Angela's already frustrated with Richie. Anna did this amazing thing where she walked into a pole and was
health
like...
and safety.
But she was just like, like my children when they do fake falls. It's like,
It sounded like the Wilhelm scream. That was amazing. It was that perfect soundbite.
it was to me like she was, she knew that they duffed it and she was just like so frustrated and then kind of, just hamming it up. Like, there's the reason it's all going wrong. I'm walking into things and I'm, just kind of admitting defeat by walking into a post and then having a wee cry about it.
Just a great
They
challenge.
were real bad.
all
They were
round.
so
What about put the D between your legs, Buck?
I missed it.
And saying it
Another great
over and
quote.
over and over. But I'm just saying, like, I can't. I mean, hilarious. And do you think Chris knew that Buck was going to struggle to identify a D amongst just by touch? If you'll pardon the pun.
Oh my God, out of control. Rude pod.
Rude pod.
Let's skip to the elimination. Who won that? Repo won that. What did they win? Oh, Sundays, ice cream Sundays, and the chance to see this thing. Okay, so it was Edna and Lana up against each other. Balls on paddles, obviously. Can't go a week without some balls on paddles. Lana loses, does her speech, about to walk off the island, and Jess whips out the old Mercy card. They win some pirate gold. Lana's still on the island. Angela sneaks a note to Bryn on the way out, but fails to tell her to read it by herself. What do you think is going to happen there? I think Bryn will read it by herself. She's a smart cookie.
Yeah, I think so. She's relying on she's like, we have a thespian bond.
Yeah.
But like, maybe they do. I don't know.
And apparently that's the strongest bond that there is. I would argue a real pod bond, a corny bond, stronger. Those bits of silk and corn, can't break those.
Real bits. I do want to say, I loved it when they put up like the kind of semi-calligraphy, thespian fancy word for actor. I think that the edit and the whole tonal world of the show this week was absolutely brilliant. And I'm really super impressed with how this objectively silly show is managing to maintain 3 episodes a week. Pickle!
Are we going to pretend my dog's not absolutely losing the plot?
What's wrong with them?
I don't know. I think someone's... Do you know it's completely off-piste, real weird situation yesterday? Someone knocked on my door and was asking about my insulation, which seems super dodgy.
Good. I remembered what I wanted to say. It was a request of production or TVNZ or someone with the power to get us some of the old pirate gold for the Real Pod Museum. I want it. I've seen it. It looks great. We need it.
Excellent call. Hey, that's the end of our podcast for this week. We will be back next week to recap week 4 on Celebrity Treasure Island. Just a great show, a nice time. I don't think I could have survived lockdown without Celebrity Treasure Island. I'm going to go out there and say it. I think I would be walking the plank were it not for this lovely show.
Pirate gold.
And just to be clear, when I say walking the plank would be over my bed and I would just walk onto my bed and stay there for the rest of my days.
Right.
Thank you very much, T.I. here, for sitting through this and laughing at the funny bits. Did you? Was it funny?
It was funny.
Yeah.
Also relatable. It's the best TV show I think that's ever been made. So.
I love it.
Good tone of mild surprise.
Do you know what? T.I. didn't watch reality TV before he started recording the Real Pod, so we've converted another.
Yeah.
We've poisoned you.
Okay, that's it. See you next week. Bye.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBet.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spin-Off. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spin-Off member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spin-Off Podcast Network.